Congratulations, Anamika.
Oh, thank you, Alokji. Thank you so very much.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Namaste, Ajit ji.
Namaste ji. How are you?
It's fine.
Namaste Ajit ji. कैसी हैं आप? ठीक है.
And Namaste, Ajit ji.
Namaste everybody.
Namaste.
I'm having some problem with my camera. I'm trying to fix it. Let me join from another session, another computer.
Namaskar, Ajit ji. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Let us start the program.
Right.
Okay. Friends, welcome to the first session of South Asian Online Literary Conference being organized by Sahitya Academy in collaboration with Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature. We will have 8 participants in this session who will be presenting their poems, and the participants are Dr. Alok Bhalla and Miss Anamika ji from India, Dr. Rinzin from Bhutan, Dr. Bimal Guha from Bangladesh, Dr. K. Sri Ganeshan from Sri Lanka, Dr. Gopal Parajoli from Nepal, Mr. Kamrul Hassan from Bangladesh, and the session will be chaired by Professor Abhi Subedi from Nepal. And I request that each participant may take around 5-6 minutes because we have only 1 hour for this program. So straight away we will start the program. First of all, I would like to invite Dr. Alok Bhalla ji.
Thank you, Jyoti. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Thank you very much, Ajit ji. Thank you. I'm going to read a few new poems that I have written. The first one was I'm going to read at the request of Ajit ji. It's a poem which was written in defense of the farmers' strike, and it began as a translation of a very brief piece that I came across by Sujit Pathar. But after the initial translation, the moment I started revising it, it somehow took a different turn, and it turned into a fairly longish piece, which is partly about Sujit Pathar calling upon all the Sufis to come to the defense of the farmers. And so that was first part of the poem. The second part took off because I was listening to one of my favorite Afro-American poets called Stacy Chapman, who has a poem called Stand By Me. So this is a poem. It's called Stand By Me, Song of a Farmer, a variation on Sujit Pathar's Punjabi poem. Rich courtiers stand with them behind walls, stand with them behind barbed wires, stand with them behind police batons. Prophets and seers stand by me. Ravidas, Kabir, and Farid stand by me. Nanak Shah Fakir stands by me. Namdev Dhanna knows me and stands by me, stand by me. They honor me and stand by me. The plow and the furrow stand by me. The mud-baked hearth and kindling wood stand by me. The clod and the pebble stand by me. The stalk of wheat, the grain of rice stand by me. The shadows of trees and green leaves stand by me. Their tongues are brass, their laws are golden bars. My needs are as radical as roots, my songs are artless and unarmed. My creeds are rough and windblown. Come stand by me, stand by me. My hands carry maps of sunlight. My eyes complete the flight of birds. Come stand by me, stand by me. Stand by me till the rains fall. Come stand by me, stand by me. Come stand by me till the rains fall. That's the one. The second one is, Anamika has heard this, is called Prayer for My Daughters. It's a call basically again from the Sufis who have neither place for priests, nor temples, nor creeds, nor cults. They call upon people to take their own stand and make their own destiny. So this is a poem partly written called Prayer for My Daughters. It also harks back to a similar kind of entitled poem by W.B. Yeats. Life never says, this is my good, this my bad. This seed will blossom, this lie fallow. An apple is sweet in infinite ways, and there is no fixed flight for birds. And every path leads to other trails, and there are thorns under rose bushes. And there are signs and songs for seekers, and words understood or misunderstood. And strangest stories from seas beyond the sun, and strongest strategies for the soul's survival. What other splendor can the stars promise? What other destiny can life's breath offer except the search, the failure, and the search? So be a visionary at the door of your dreams. Wait as the wind changes from salt to cinnamon, since life only offers choices, not desolate fate. See that sparkle in the sand as the wind scuttles slowly. Catch the omen of harvest rain in time's furrows. And there is always an unknown friend near the bend with an unexpected story to tell and a chance gift in hand. So search here and there, and here and there, and here and there, and there, here and there, and there, here and there, and here, there, and there, and everywhere, wherever there is life and work, there are chances and new things to do that pop up like fireflies once you open your eyes and look. No firefly says, this is my good, this is my bad. And if I have a minute more, a small piece, do I have a minute more? Yeah. A small piece. This is a small piece from my ongoing translation of an epic poem called Kumar Jiva by Narayan. It's a very short piece that I'm going to read from you, which is part of this whole business about Kumar Jiva wanders out of the city, sits in a boat near the shore of a lake. The boat floats on the canopy of stars. The small lake is suffused with sparkling sunlight. A luminous beam drips on the water like a growing lantern. This visible in the sense world is either all that is from being to nothing, from nothing to done. Thank you very much. That's okay, I think.
Thank you, Dr. Alok Bhallaji.
Thank
Now
you.
I will request Anamika ji to present her poems, and I will request all the participants to give their small introduction before they start. Anamika ji.
Dalai Lama. This is the first poem that I want to recite. It's a translation of the original English Hindi poem. Everyone was super serious, especially the English interpreter. Poor thing. In mighty strain, unnerved, upset, he held his bookish English like a net, trying really hard to catch the golden butterflies from whatever the Dalai Lama said in his pristine mother tongue, with a kind smile as golden as the golden butterflies that kept constantly flying from his petal tender leaf in all the four directions, trying one's best to grasp what he said. Everyone was super serious, and I was in an awe, a holy terror, till His Holiness raised his arm and threw his ochre robe naughtily till His Holiness raised his arm and through his ochre robe peeped naughtily the marks of his baby vaccination. How nice it felt to note the connect. So His Holiness had also someday that those three little dots of a therefore on his arm flashed his early years in his village. So he too had been once a little boy, open to infections, gurgling at his feeding bottle, wiping his running nose in the arms of a home-knit sweater. Thanks for being one of us, dear sir. But despite you, how little we know of Tibet beyond Rinpoche, Lasha apple pups and round faces, sensitive to the bond I had just struck. His Holiness paused a little, smiled once more, and then went on and on, expounding on the Four Noble Truths. And I wondered if truths could be ignoble too. Does truth too have hierarchies, a caste system, noble truth at the peak, and the ordinary truths like hunger, thirst, and passion at the bottom? Are truths too born high and low? If so, I prefer living in the deep cave of a teeny weeny truth From there, I'll come on weekends for my lessons on your nobler truths. And the second one is called Women. We were read like the torn pages of children's notebooks, made into cones to hold warm chanas or garam, or popcorns, you may call it. We were looked at the way grumpily you squint at your wristwatch after the alarm goes off in the morning. We were listened to distractedly the way film songs assail your ear, spilling from cheap cassettes on a crowded bus. They sensed us the way you sense the suffering of a distant relative. One day we said, we are human too. Read us carefully, one letter at a time, the way after your BA you would read job advertisements. Look at us, the way, shivering, you would gaze at the flames of a distant fire. Listen to us as you would the unstruck music of the word, the unhug, and understand us the way you would understand a newly learned language. The moment they heard this, from an invisible branch suspended in limbo, like a swarm of gnats, while rumors went screeching, women without character, wild wines draining the sap from their homes, well-fed, poured with affluence, these women pointlessly on edge, indulging in the luxury of writing these stories and poems, not even their own, they said, amused. The rest of the stories is dismissed with a wink. Hey, blessed Father, you blessed men, spare us, please, this twisted attention. And the last one is called Salt. Salt is the sorrow and the flavor of earth. 3/4 of the earth is salt water, and the earth heart a mold of salt. Salt has a heart so weak and infirm, it melts a little too fast. How it sinks in shame when plates are flung in a rage because of salt, a little too much. Big offices are grand salt pots. Deftly they sprinkle salt on all our open wounds. Like a crown they wear, their salt and pepper hair. Women with dignity of salt pay a heavy price for all their salt. Loyalty is measured through salt. Salt, loyal, salt, bound are the ones who put off revolutions. With a pinch of salt on tongue, they swallow it all. Gandhi knew the worth of salt, and so does the little girl who sells guavas. One can't vouch for anything else. The salt in God's tears and human perspiration is the salt that could outlive us all. Thank you so much, Ajit ji and friends. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Anamika.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, as I said before, I invite the next speaker, Dr. Rinzin. I would request the participants to adhere to the time limit of 5 minutes because we have limited time. And now I invite Dr. Rinzin from Bhutan. So unmute your audio, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I was really on the onset. Thank FOSWAL, especially Ma Ajit Kaurji. Very happy to see you fresh and healthy, Maji. And Sahitya Akademi for organizing this grand literary festival, even when COVID-19 is creating havoc everywhere. Since I'm asked to introduce myself, which is a very difficult thing to do, I am Rinzin, a Bhutanese poet, author, and a scholar. And I served in the civil service for about 15 years. Now I'm full-time into literature. But before this festival is over, I'll be looking after an NGO, Bhutan Transparency Initiative, from 18th March. When the whole world has been shaken by COVID-19, obviously we Bhutanese, a small population with limited resources, we were also shaken, and we were clouded by fear and anxiety. So instantly, Bhutanese leadership and the people came together, and we did so well that today we just have one case of COVID infected, person in our country. So this is basically because of the good leadership that we have and the kind of cooperation, the way people came together to fight COVID, to make happiness reign in the kingdom of happiness again. So last year, when the atmosphere environment was really gloomy because of COVID-19, I did a poem to document what Bhutanese people are doing. And today the result has been really good, in fact, having only one infected person in our country. So the poem is, the title of the poem is A Time to Remember. At times, there comes a rare time when the worst brings out the best. COVID-19 pandemic has changed life's climb. Only human unity might put it to rest. Every nation is trying its best, exploring and using every probable test. Overnight, socialization has become social distancing, and the ones who quarantine, the quarantined. Karma at work is only too evident. Took just a virus to remind mankind. Being at the top of the food chain isn't invincible. Must learn to be nature's child, responsible. Back home, humanity reigns in some. The Dharma King's wisdom and compassion are boundless. He works day and night to secure our country. The people's welfare is closest to his heart. 2 medical experts in the cabinet of ministers. For the first time in our history trimester, if not for our guided deity's blessings, citizens from all walks of life contribute whatever they could, from farm products, labor, money, equipment, or property, to keep COVID-19 at bay at all cost. United had our ancestors stood for time immemorial, protecting our country from threats internal and external, nurturing our country for generations to come. Today, we proudly walk in their shoes. Sorry. To be in the grace of benevolent leadership unmatched, to witness total unity among the citizenry, and to see every Bhutanese as nation builders is a rare opportunity any mortal can get. Let this solidarity stand the test of time. Let unity be our identity sacred. Let this time be forever remembered, that we may always care for each other. I recited this poem so that the world at large may also think about what Bhutanese have done and what Bhutanese are doing. And given that Bhutan has very limited resource of all sorts, any resource, if Bhutanese can do it, the whole world can do it. Therefore, I urge all people everywhere in the world to come together, to show your humanity, to show your solidarity as human beings to combat COVID, so that happiness, peace can reign again in this world. Do I have enough time to read another poem, or do I just sign off here? Do I have some time? Do I have some more time, sir? Can I read another one? Do I read one more point?
Thank you, Dr. Rinzin. We seek your approval to invite the next speaker.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And now I will invite Dr. Bimal Guhaji from Bangladesh. Sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Reverend Ajit Kaurji, distinguished participants, audiences, good afternoon. To tell about me, I am Bimal Guha from Dhaka. I've been continuing to write poems just after the liberation war of Bangladesh in 1971. I mainly write poems and also write juvenile rhymes, literary articles, travelogue, memoirs, etc. I have 36 books so far. Traveled widely in many countries, participated in literary conferences, seminars, and poetry reading sessions. I've been admired by the readers from the very beginning of my journey to literature. I was honored as the best young poet of Bangladesh in 1979 by the government of Bangladesh, and won many other awards and honors from other organizations for my contribution to literature. I am associated with FOSWAL, the regional body of the South Asian countries, for the last 1 decade, with love and affection from our Reverend Ajit Kaurji, the leader of this august body. Now I recite my poems. The title of my poem is first poem, "O world, get united today." Third World War has begun. This war is neither the worldwide violent outcries of a vehement bear. This war is neither the bombing of trillion-dollar nuclear warheads. The opponent of this war is invisible microscopic killer virus, the frenetic dancing corona worldwide. Do aliens from the unknown planet spreading terror to us? Will our lovely planet forcibly be taken away by others? If this pandemic is the outcome of a wrong research instead, if rumors are proven true someday, then humans have to pay for the disaster plethora. The whole world is dire frightened. Why do people build lethal weapons obnoxiously at the climax achievement of civilization? Why do people stock deadly nuclear weapons? This question is for the civilized world. This question is for the welfare of states. The majesty of science is oppressed by nuclear powers. How easily superpowers accept the motion of destructions. No rules are negotiable to those miscreants. Even diplomacy has been defeated to this evil power. Still, there is have time. If the human come back to the nature, that would be a great achievement for us. The armed races should come to an end from today. This war is the people's war against the deadly corona. If human races need to fight for existence against the ravens of the nature, O world, get united today. O world, you get united today. It's okay. Is there any time for me?
Yeah. You can present one more poem.
My second poem is a love poem, The Beacon Light. Fire cannot reach the sky. Faith can. Wind cannot shake the hills, but love can. Gazing at the sky, a red rose blooms in my eyes. Traversing the hills, should I get tired, Dakayoni? It reminds me of fire when I see the face of a destitute. I look for you, holding light in my grip. When I think of your desire and candle, my blood pulsates beat by beat. I am the maker of a new creation. As you lie unwell, I think of moonlight in daytime. At night, I scribble poem of fatigue and boredom, reclining on the bed of God. I stitch unreal images with celestial needle and the thread. I put my trust on fire, and I pray, get well, my love. Let dejection be wiped out in affection. As you sit by me like a love-striking dove, I touch the navel of sky, confessing my failure like a soothsayer. O you Mahashata, O you, the supreme woman. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your nice poems. Now I invite Dr. Gopal Parajuli from Nepal. Dr. Gopalji, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Respected FOSWAL President, respected scholar Sahitya Akademi, distinguished guests. Former editor of leading Nepali literary journal, Garima, I am introduced in Nepali literature for my experimental poems and epics. My major works of experimental exploration include Proposal for a New World, Letter of a Jailbird, a soldier in search of peace, the end of death, and Nepal's prestigious literary award, मदन पुरस्कार winner epic, नया ईश्वर को घोषणा, declaration of a new God. Besides, many other works of stories, plays, and poetry. I live in Kathmandu with my family. I will present 2 poems here, if time allows. The first one is Storm. Let none of my friends, my well-wishers, and my relatives stand on a stormy path. Let no one who loves the world stand on that way. Rather, they must stand there where the world offers them security. Stand not because others do. The opponents of truth are my adversaries too, and those adverse to me are foes to you too. At this moment, let no one come on the street, not even children and old ones. Do not emulate those who stand on the road, and let loose terror's reign and make a mockery of humanity. Refrain from standing there, for I know they are in combat dress and are standing with guns in hand. This is the path where I and the storm travel. How aware are you of the storm's annals? It breaks rocks, shakes hills. How much do you know of it? A storm carries away everything. It does not spare even eyes. My next poem is A Letter in the Soil. The Constitution in the offing, the awaited man, the upcoming time, and the one expected to come. There came a tremor all of a sudden, knowing down the image of a speaker someone watched, sliding down the line someone had planned to show it to some others, displacing the map from a survey someone had prepared to raise the nation higher and shook the entire earth. Whatever news anyone brought from any location or did not bring, even if a storm, a tsunami, or a volcano occurred or not, when there is an earthquake, the old no longer belongs to those who strike with whatever they can lay their hands on, whatever time may dawn tomorrow, and whoever might grab the earth whatsoever. All have to touch it. Time is after all one. When someone invited does not come, but an uninvited moment shows up, the birds happen to fly, the line happens to cave in, the roads are left ripped, the mountain slides downhill, the rocks get sliced, the mountains coalesce in the upline and carry the human along as they flow. The stupas are left upside down, the temple get cracked, the church and the mosque are shaken, When the soil incurs a wound, it is not God that fattens, not all it. It is the eyes that phrase the letter I wrote in the soil and hung a song of death. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gopal Parojuluji. Now I invite Mr. Kamrul Hassan from Bangladesh. Kamrul ji.
Namaste, everybody. Distinguished poets, Madam has just left. It was nice to see her. I write poetry and short stories, and also I translate foreign literature from English to Bangla. In recent time, I'm writing travelogues. I have 4 books of journeys. So I write essays. So little I have different kind of writing. Today I'll read 3 of my poems. The first one is named Stepping Down the Interconnected Stairs. It's on genetic science, actually. I'm a science student. Beside the bemused window, we have sat face to face. Me and Rini and me, we the two. Who are we? That question is as simple as the brace on her breasts. Remove the brassiere, you would find Rini is very much like Minnie or Bini or another woman. How this rose did come so close blooming, exactly like another rose. I haven't seen the growth of her fetus in mother's womb. The eyeless, lipless face she could well be Jhuma or Ruma or like someone else. After asking so many questions, I asked, then who is me? I have overtaken thousands of my would-be brothers and came here now as a winner to take a seat beside Rini. Is it a young cartilage, a fascinating simile of a sparklingly bright morning? I know I'm carrying the genes of my great-grandfather, now sitting very close to Rini, and the great-grandmother of Rini, or Rini herself, is smiling dauntlessly beside a prehistoric youth or his shadow, the shadow of his great-grandfather. That was my first poem. I will read the second. This is called From the Gallery. From the Gallery. The stream of air was blowing, bending his body, stretching its voluptuous thighs towards the west. Balloons were afloat in that current, the chunk of desire of children, like ornaments in the body of the air, a large bouquet on the navel, a colorless cerise on his pair of breasts. This floating stream was depicting the body of the air in emptiness. The combined collage of them close to the pubic area painted cry. Within our silent expression of wonder, reminded afloat like unknown objects, like a well-wishing message to an alien planet. Although it was earthly humor sent to different planets or invaders of distant planets into our defenseless, bewildered planet. Glittering like pearls in the hairs of wind, they lost their ways under the garments of goddess. After that, the eternal emptiness in their root, forgetting the smell of air, leaving the hands of the gravitation, the humor of a gallery full of spectators have got a heavenly delight. And my last poem is To a Far-Off Star. In your own world, you are so fierce, illuminated, so luminous. An endless ball of fire, a giant sphere of light that blinds eyes. A mother holding tight the hands of your children, young children, the planets. Due to this far distance from this planet, you look like a dot, a tiny star, a bright mark of a white chalk on the galaxy's blackboard. The poet is no different. Thank you very much for listening to my poems.
Thank you very much, sir, for your nice poems. And since we could give lesser time to Dr. Rinzin, I would request him if he wants to present one more poem. We have time because
Yes.
2 participants could not join due to internet problems, I think. Dr. Rinzin.
That would be nice.
Yes.
As a Buddhist, I sincerely believe that the Corona-19 problem that we are facing may be because of our own karma. So I'll read a poem to that line. It's known as Mother Earth to mankind. I'm Earth, your mother, dear mankind. I'm a few million years old now and shall live for many more years to come. Your kind has seen only a few thousand years, while many others have been around much longer. Just a few hundred years ago, your kind evolved faster than any other species, from a nature-loving species into a demonic one. Your ancestors respected me and all my creations. They worshipped the sky, mountains, and the trees, and the dragons, lions, and the eagles. They sang about the rainbows, clouds, and the rain, and the mountains, valleys, rivers, and the oceans. They danced to the songs of the birds and wind, but I can't fathom what devil has possessed your kind to burn the forest and fell the trees, drill me deep and steal my treasures, poison the air, waters, and the soil, and cause millions of species to perish for good, while you multiply your own into billions and conquer every inch of me. The evil forces of nature are growing fast with every tick-tock of the clock, and natural disasters shall trickle into your lives to punish you for all your sins great and make your kind perish for good. In another 100 years or so, or change your kind into nations soulless. It's not yet late to change your ways, to live and let live and save the world. Follow my advice today with pure heart. Save the world for those yet to come and leave a legacy of hope for all. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rinzin. Thank you very much. Now, I, on behalf of Sahitya Academy and the Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature, thank all of you for participating in this poetry reading program. Namaste and thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you all. Thank you, Alok Bala.